Welcome to another episode of the Read Pile. Today I'm taking a look at a decent sized stack of books, but on top here is Ginseng Roots. This is from Craig Thompson, author of Blankets. I'm a huge fan of Blankets. I have not read this. It is quite thick. Hopefully there will be a video for this coming in a few weeks as soon as I can get through some other stuff. But I'm really looking forward to this and grabbed it as soon as I heard it was coming. Now, comics. We have Transformers 20. This is the beginning of the end for Danny Warren Johnson's run. So this is the first act, first chapter of the final arc, and some cool shit that happens in here. So Megatron still looks like a complete badass with all of these wires and no eyes. He fights Astro Train, which is pretty amazing. Look at that. And he's just standing there taking it. Ugh, this is so good. So Astro Train has a problem with Megatron, tries to take it out on him. Things do not go well for Astro Train. And I have loved Astro Train in this series to a degree that I have never cared about Astro Train before. I mean, yes, he's cool, but the earlier issues where he's just a complete angry badass, and here he just gets taken down very quickly by a one-armed Megatron. It's staggering. So we've still got to this going on, which I think is a phenomenal panel. I don't know how much further that's going to develop. We've still got stuff going on. Autobot base, where is it? We get this conversation to remind you that yes, Spike's father is inside of the Matrix and what that potentially means. But here, the first glimpse of the aerial bots. We've got them here. There's a tease kind of hint in the letters page at the back that we are getting Motormaster, so possibly the Jetsicons are coming as well. This is forward progress on some storylines as well as reminding you of other events, and Starscream already has his body taken apart, so the tank tread legs did not last for very long. But in this, Megatron heals him in order to then beat the shit out of him. And it is... this Megatron is really something else. Anyway, it's really good stuff. Next up is Huck, issue 1 of the Big Bad World miniseries. I believe it's 6 issues. I did a video on the first Huck series. I'm going to say I think it was almost exactly 3 years ago. So I very much enjoyed the first Huck. This is setup. It's a lot of setup. I think we were introduced already to the series villain. But in short, somebody shows up to your house and says, hey, I want your son to find me a bunch of weirdos. Maybe not a good guy. Also, there's the obvious, Huck himself is dating a girl, and she has an ex-boyfriend who looks like a creep. So I think we're supposed to believe he is a villain, but, and maybe he is, but I think the actual villain is the non-obvious one, or he's obvious to me and possibly others. I don't know, but I'm glad that we're back in the world of Huck, because Huck himself is a phenomenal character. I liked the world that the initial series set up, and we're back in that. Huck is, once again, a great character, and it's his interactions with the rest of the world. The rest of the world tends to be more real world, and Huck himself is the big-eyed. He's kind of the Smallville. Just try to combine Smallville and Superman. But he's kind of that small-town, naive, big-hearted. He's just a really nice guy, and it's Mark Miller has written some terrible things, and it's nice to see a good guy, and he's probably going to be put through the ringer, and that's fine. I'm all for it because I just love the series. Great art. I Heart Skullcrusher issue 9. I once again have no idea how long this series is supposed to last. So the previous issue left off, there was one of these tournament matches that was supposed to, it leaves off on a big cliffhanger thing. And this issue starts by just skipping some time and telling you what happens in sort of exposition dump flashback. But anyway, the twins are on their side now, and they are pulling off a heist. So what I went into expecting one of these tournament murder ball matches, actually just time lapses through some stuff, and now they're in the middle of a heist, and there's this kind of scarecrow gas that gives them hallucinations and makes them relive sort of their worst trauma, and in that way we actually get some additional information as far as people's backstory, and it's really well drawn, and I'm a fan of all of that. And then at the very end we get everything is a bit a lie. So it's I enjoyed it. I also was just sort of shocked. I was confused initially by, like, where am I right now? This isn't what I was expecting based on previous issues. And I think that's my problem overall with the whole series. I'm still enjoying it. It's just, there's aspects, there's story elements that I wish had been drawn out that are gone through very quickly. I mentioned in the first arc how I think if it were a manga, it would have been an entire, like, volume. It would have been hundreds of pages rather than, 20 issue. So, yeah, I think the first volume would have been better told if it were drawn out. The second volume largely had been better paced, in my opinion, and now it just skips through time, and I'm like, I thought you fixed the problem. Anyway, it's still good. I'm still enjoying it. It's just on an issue-by-issue basis. I don't know what to expect, which is, makes it sound worse than I'm trying to convey. But the art's great. The story's super interesting. I'm very curious about these characters, about the world, about where all of it is going, and I don't know. Maybe next issue is the end of the arc or the series. I have literally no idea. I haven't looked at solicits for future issues, but I've still been enjoying the series. I will probably buy the collection once this is done, because it's enjoyable. But for now, I do recommend it. Art's great, story's super interesting. There's nothing else like it on the shelves. Mine is a long, lonesome grave issue 4. This is the end of the series, and I'm gonna say it wasn't worth it, unfortunately. What happens, here's page 1, and you can tell already, this is actually indicative of the entire, specifically this issue, but the series as a whole. Everyone's faces are mostly blacked out. There's two conversations that happen in this, and both of the conversations, the participants are almost entirely black, so it's hard to tell who's talking exactly, except one of them has beard, and you can sometimes see it. So, like, it's just weird. Spoilers? Here's the start of the second conversation. Again, one of them has a beard, the other one doesn't. So, this is a different person with a beard. And then this guy. So, like, again, you can sometimes tell who's talking because of beard face, but it's just difficult to tell what's happening, because hers is the only face that's actually in any kind of light. But there is a reveal, there is an explanation for what has been transpiring and why, and I guessed it already, because there was only one character left that it could have been, and yes, it was them. But it's, I will be giving this series away. This is not something that I will be keeping. I still enjoy Justin Jordan. I don't think the artist was the correct choice for this, when I have difficulty telling characters apart because everyone's faces are black. Phantom Road, issue 12. This is chapter 2 of the latest arc, and a bunch of stuff is happening here. We meet back up with these two on the left here. They are investigating mysterious, what is this, highway ley line truck stops and disappearances and deaths that happen along these highway ley line truck stops. And that's basically what's happening. It's very X-Filean, and yes, if I haven't talked about this enough before, that is basically what's happening. And then there are weird elements like this. So this guy's clutching this sort of ostrich egg-sized thing with some other mysterious thing sticking out of it. So the FBI guys meet up with the guy they've been hunting, and like I said, this is only part 2 of 5, so a bunch of other weird stuff is going to happen, I am sure. But already, weird stuff is happening. They flip. So there's basically a kind of upside-down-ish Stranger Things element to this. There's the real world, and there's, I'll say, our world instead of real world. And then they flip to the apocalyptic world there. And so things that have been mysteries are getting explained, and it's very entertaining. I'm enjoying Phantom Road. I wish the hiatus between arcs were less, but other than that, it's a great series. Highly recommended. Highly enjoyable. I grabbed Battle Beast issue 1, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. There is kind of an annoyance or two in here, which is, this actually picks up, if you are unfamiliar, right after Battle Beast's first appearance, where he kicks the shit out of Invincible and the Guardians of the Globe. Were they the Guardians yet? I don't recall. I really do need to get back to that series at some point and reread it and shoot some videos. Dan or I, one of us will get there. But Battle Beast and what happens after. So there is a talking ship, so that Battle Beast, because he killed everyone else on this spaceship, Battle Beast has a spaceship to talk to, and him and the spaceship are in agreement about killing Battle Beast, essentially. Battle Beast, there is an explanation given as to why he is the way he is, and it's interesting, and it's fine, and it's good enough, but I was starting to get Lobo flashbacks as they were telling his story, and he's not quite Lobo, but he is this lone badass. And he is seeking battle, and he wants to find someone that is a worthy challenge, and in his estimation, someone that is worthy will actually wind up defeating him. So, the ship is upset with him that he killed the old crew, and so they are in agreement that they both want to find someone that is a worthy opponent for Battle Beast so that he dies. It's a little weird, it's a lot of conversation, it's a lot of exposition that is happening, but once the action starts, it is phenomenal. This actually gives me Otley Kate's Hulk flashback moments, which, if you have not read, if you have not seen, just look at the art. Oh, that spaceship Hulk, Starship Hulk, whatever it was. That first Hulk arc with Otley and Kate is bad insane, and I loved it. But like I said, once the action starts, it's top tier stuff. It's such good Otley art. It's incredible. I've already signed up for issue 2. It's, I hope, a long run for them. I'll take what I can get, because this team is phenomenal. I love it. I've wanted more Invincible for a long time, but I understand also Otley's perspective of he did it all for a long time already, and doing a monthly book for that long is kind of a grind. But then he went away and did Spider-Man and Hulk, and now he's back, and I'll take it for as long as I can get it. But this is off to a great start. I'm looking forward to more. Lastly, I just want to circle back to Savage Sword of Conan. This is issue 8 from a few weeks ago. I read most of it, I will say, because there are 4 stories in here, rather than being, I think I said this at the time, one long story and a shorter one. There are 4 stories in here, or 5 if you count the kind of poem by, where is it? There's like a pin-up and then something very short. But this is Chris Burnham and Dennis Culver story. Very weird, very entertaining. There is this one of my absolute favorite panels. I am Conan, I do what I want. And look at the eyes bulging out. It's so insane. It's great. Huge fan of the Chris Burnham art in that, and the writing is equally just batty. This is the one story that I did not read. I got bored twice trying to read it, and I found the art kind of confusing. Look at just the amount of stuff that's happening and no clear panel indications. But this is the one story that I skipped because I tried to make a couple of attempts, and I don't know who either of these people are, but I just could not get into it. This one is the super short, but great art by Panosian on this. Look at all of that detail in the table. And then in this one, I'm unfamiliar with the character, but super impressed by the art on this. There's a couple of look at that ring mail. And it's great. So super impressed by this artist. The story was just okay, in my opinion. And then the last one, I'm going to say, is the Liam Sharp. And I think this is my favorite. It is short, but look at the amount of rendering. Holy cow. This is insane. And the story is interesting, and I believe this is going to continue. There's a letters column kind of in the middle of this where they talk about future issues and things that got cut and things that will come back. It's just, timing issues and keeping an anthology going is difficult because, there's a bunch of moving pieces to it. But Liam Sharp, I believe will continue, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think this guy is going to come back as well at some point. And the other thing that got mentioned is there was a Blitz story that was supposed to be in one of the earlier issues, and it hasn't come out yet, and they're like, it's still coming. It's still coming. So that is everything that I got this week. I don't know what pick of the week is. Transformers is great. Huck is great. Skull Crusher, also great. Wildly different books. It's not going to be Martha Long Lonesome Grave. Phantom Road and Battle Beast. Battle Beast is the most fun. Transformers, some amazing fight scenes. Huck, I'm just happy that it's back. Phantom Road, also great. So I don't know that I have a pick for this week. Just buy some books and hope that they're good. I'm going to say that. And I will hope Ginseng Roots is good too, once I finally get to read that. But that is everything that I got this week. As always, I got these books from my local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.